Happy September 2018. This is Dark Dove Tarot. I hope you're doing fantastic. I'm going to I always pre-shuffle, but I'm going to add a little more energy before we get started. This is for Gemini, September 2018. Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Again, I hope you're doing fantastic. This is a general read, so keep that in mind. Sometimes this may resonate with you, other times it may not. Hopefully it resonates with the majority of you, but always check your sun, moon, and rising signs to see. Sometimes you can get more clarification that month. Now, if you've watched my channel before, you know this is for anybody who's looking for love and anybody who's looking to reconcile. These cards keep wanting to come out. I have not had a chance to do any relationship reads just because I've run out of time, so I apologize. This is for people who are single, looking for love, wondering about their love life, and anybody looking to reconcile. Those are generally the people who order reads, email me, etc. So again, looking for love or looking for reconciliation. Now, I've told every sign the past month or two, I love cross watchers. You can cross watch all you want. But if you say negative things about the sign I'm reading, they will be removed. Because 2 months ago, I had really nasty comments made about a sign. And it was to the point of being extremely derogative. So if you have a problem with that person, why don't you address it with them directly and not on my channel. I'm using the Deviant Moon Tarot card deck and the 8-coin tattoo deck for clarifying and your theme of the month. Any likes, subscribes, comments, etc. are greatly appreciated. If you want a private read, the information is in the description below. These cards are popping out all over the place. First, the cards didn't seem to want to move, and now they're popping out in 2s and 3s. All right, Gemini, let's see what is going on. 2 more cards, and we will get started. Oh. Okay. Let me pull your theme of the month. Gosh, I don't know what's going on. The reads have been all over the place this month. Some have been really good. Some have been not so good. Some have been a mix of good and bad. There goes your theme under my table here. Okay, so your theme of the month is the Hermit. Feeling like being in solitude a little bit, are you, Gemini? Feeling like not really hobnobbing with anybody? If you're single, this definitely says that you're meditating. Maybe you're not sure if you're ready to date. Maybe if you are dating, you're being very quiet about it. This is you. The Hermit is somebody who's, first of all, it's Virgo's card. So you may be dealing with a Virgo, or you may have, one of your signs may be a Virgo. But the Hermit is somebody who is good where they are, if that makes sense. They're not needing anybody. It's not that they don't want to find anybody. So if you're single, I don't get the impression that first of all, yes, some of you are happy being single because it just hasn't been working out for you. The dating life hasn't been working out for you. So you're kind of like, I'm going to sit back and figure out why it's not working for me. Maybe some of you are building on your spirituality or your self-worth, because the Hermit is a very spiritual person. And again, this is somebody who kind of retreats into solitude to figure out what they want. So if you've been dating, maybe it hasn't been working out for you. If you are dating, you're taking a lot of time off. So maybe you're dating 1 week on, 1 week off, etc. But this is you kind of being content with where you are in life, and you'll only bring somebody into your life if they're going to increase that happiness or fulfill, certain things that you feel might be missing. Otherwise, you're not out there dating every single person you can find. It's very calming, Gemini. I'm saying really calming. As I'm sitting here, I'm feeling this like at peace energy. If you're looking to reconcile, I feel like you guys have gotten past the finger pointing necessarily, where you're arguing and you're in that stage of like hating each other's guts and texting nasty things and whatever, and you're at peace as well. It feels like you guys still have a connection, but you're really not wanting to deal with it right now. You've been through enough pain. You've had enough hurt. You're like, I'm good where I'm at right now. The next card you have is your current position coming into the month, and you have Judgment. It's interesting. That was Capricorn's first card coming into the month, so maybe you're dealing with a Capricorn. But Judgment is exactly that. It's judging a situation. This is interesting too, because this is also a meditation, a looking back card. So Gemini, it feels like a lot of you, if you're single, you are definitely going, there's got to be a different way to date, or before when I dated tons of people, and I dated people who weren't good for me, people who were right for me. And now you're like, I'm holding out for something really special. I'm holding out for, the person who sparks my interest, the person who is attentive, etc. This is saying, where did I go wrong in the past? Where did things not work out in the past? Because what you want for your future is something very significant, and you know that it's going to take some time to get there. And in the process of that happening, you're also evaluating the situations in your life. You're evaluating the type of people you've allowed to come in your life, and you're deciding that you're going to switch it up a little bit and maybe take care of you a little more this month, which is interesting because that was Capricorn's read, was a lot about making sure that they were taking care of themselves first. If you're looking to reconcile, feels like there's still some hurt here. There is some judgment. There is some things that you've had to look back and really understand where things went wrong. Why did I not see this before? You're asking a lot of questions. You're looking back on the relationship going, gosh, that should have been obvious, or I should have paid more attention to this, or the signs were all there that this was going on, or that the situation was not good. And it's not, again, I don't feel like you're in a negative spot where you want to call them up and scream at them. Some of you may still be in that position, but this is more of a, how can we fix that if we decide to move forward, if we decide to ever reconnect? How could we fix it? Where did we go wrong? Where did we lose ourselves? Or where did I lose myself? Because I feel like some of you are going, that relationship kind of destroyed me, or it made me a person that I'm not. And you're really doing some deep thinking this month, Gemini. The next card you have is how you're feeling inside, internally, which is interesting. You have the Queen of Pentacles. So the first thing that's making me feel is some of you want kids very badly, or even if you don't want kids, you want to adopt pets, or you want, to meet somebody with kids, etc. Maybe you're a single parent, and so you'd like to find somebody with kids, because the Queen represents a nurturing, a motherly energy, a very generous, very intuitive type energy. So if you're single, you may be a single parent looking to meet people who has kids, and so you're being very cautious, making sure that your kids come first, and making sure that this person would be, whoever you find in the future, is going to be a good fit with your kids. Maybe you've dealt with too many people who just aren't a good fit with kids. Again, it could be that you're wanting to find somebody to have a family with, even if your family consists of, 2 dogs and a cat. This is you definitely thinking in a maternal, nurturing way, but being very practical about it, knowing that it takes time, and knowing that you can't rush something like that to come along. So whether you're, male or female, it definitely feels like you're ready to start the next stage of your life, which is a pretty big one if kids or wanting kids, etc., are involved. If you're looking to reconcile, I feel like maybe there were kids involved. Maybe you guys had a combined family. Maybe you had stepkids. Maybe you two had kids together. There's definitely something here that you're thinking, I need to put the kids first, or I need to think about the kids first. So some of you may have been in abusive relationships and you needed to take them out of that situation. It may also be that you wanted to have kids and this person was not there. You wanted to move in together, you wanted to progress, and this person just wasn't going to move in that same direction. And so you're feeling like, hey, we had all these plans, I thought we were on the same page. Obviously, we didn't end up getting there or going there, and you're still very adamant on what your hopes and dreams are for the future. The next card you have is your distant past, and you have the Fool. So I always read this card together, whether you're single or looking to reconcile, because this is something that the universe is saying, hey, you need to remember this, and always, and remember and embrace this feeling or something that happened in the past that was good. And if it's more of a negative connotated card, it's the universe's way of saying, hey, forget old habits, try not to, continue bad patterns. The Fool I love, because this is the universe's way of saying, start fresh, start new. New beginnings are coming. Because the Fool is the beginning of the major arcana, and this is somebody who's fearless. This is somebody who knows what they want and they're not afraid to get it. And I feel like that's an important message for you this month, Gemini. Like, this is the universe's way of saying, don't be afraid to hold out for something good. Don't be afraid to meditate, to be in solitude. The best thing you can do before you're in any relationship is to learn how to be by yourself. Because if you're comfortable in your own skin, then you can handle being with another person as well. It's always very important to take time to get to know yourself, take time to, to love yourself, to find your inner potential. And the Fool is saying, look, there's big potential for you to meet somebody amazing out there. If you're looking for love, if you're looking to reconcile, there could be an opportunity for you guys to come together. There's potential in the Fool here. And that's the best thing you have right now, is that you will always move forward. So even if you're dating right now and it's not working out for you, or even if you're not dating, the universe is willing you to go out with a fearlessness and an innocence. If dating hasn't been working out for you, or if people have been kind of letting you down or been negative in your life, the Fool is saying, okay, start fresh. This is a new, act like you've never dated before, and go out and get what you're looking for. And if you're looking to reconcile, if this person is who you want, and you want to be with them, and you can't imagine not being with somebody else, then maybe it's time to make it happen, or maybe it's time to move on and find what you're looking for. We'll see what else the cards say. The next card you have is your immediate past, over the past few weeks, past month or two, and you have Strength. And that makes sense. That's Leo's card. So you could be dealing with a Leo or a fire sign. But Strength is about patience. So I feel, like I said, Gemini, when I first started, there's a very calming energy here. I don't feel like you're rushing into something. You guys are fine where you're at, and you're just like, hey, if it comes my way, it's great. If you're single, this is about a control and a self-belief. This is about controlling the connections you make, controlling the type of people that come into your life. And I'm not talking about being overly controlling. I'm talking about, like, the serenity prayer, controlling what you can and accepting, what you can't control, and knowing, that there are certain things that you just have to wait out. Because again, the Strength card is about patience. So if you're single, I definitely feel like you need to really hold out for what you want. You've had some grimy people, you've had some really ingenuine people, and right now just take it slow. Take it day by day. Take it day by day, and whatever works for you best, you need to follow that. Because again, this is about, being in touch with your inner self, and building on your self-worth, and understanding what you deserve, and what type of energy you want in your life. Now, if you're looking to reconcile, it feels like you have had to be very strong. Feels like maybe they've tried to contact you, or you've tried to contact them, and there's been no communication. This is also saying be patient. If this is what you really want, there's a chance that you guys can have a new beginning. Again, there's this potential here where the universe is saying, hey, remember, there's always a new potential. But this Strength to me is almost like finding your inner strength, kind of like I said, for anybody who's looking for love, because this is about, again, controlling what you can control. You can't control if they want to be with you, and they can't control if they want to be with you, or you want to be with them. And so this is saying, if it's what you really want, then, you're going to need to hang out a little bit, because it feels like there's been a lack of communication, or you've been undecided, they're undecided. But again, I feel like there's a very strong connection here. You really care about them. You really saw yourself going somewhere with them. You're not wanting to go out and date. You would rather be alone than to meet anybody else. But for whatever reason, it's going to take some time, and you're aware of that. You're understanding that. And it may just be that they need to be patient with you, because maybe there's been some indiscretions on their part, and you're like, hey, I'm willing to maybe give you another chance, but I need to take some solace in myself first before I can reconnect with you on a deep level. I've been hurt, right? And see, this kind of goes along with it. The next card is your distant future. So over the next month or two, and you have the Nine of Swords. This is anxiety. This is fear. This is a kind of a depression. So if you're single, I definitely feel like you've been burned before. You haven't been meeting the right type of people. And you just feel like nobody's telling you the truth. They lead you on. You'd rather be alone than be with anybody. And sometimes that's the best thing, because I think sometimes it's better to be alone than to be with somebody just to say you have somebody. And there's an essence here, Gemini, where there's this feeling of needing to love and nurture and take care of yourself, very similar to the Capricorn read. So I wonder if a lot of you have Capricorn in your sign, in your signs, or if you're, you've been dealing with Capricorn, etc. But if you're single, this is kind of like, do I really want to get out there and go through this again? I'm afraid. It's like you're nervous that you're going to be lied to again. I feel like some of you were dating people a couple months ago and it just let you down. Like they said that they wanted more and they didn't, or they were dating a lot of other people and you thought that they were just dating you. There's definitely some sort of letdown here, or something that made you feel like, is this really worth it? But I think it really is. But these are your own fears. And unfortunately, if we want to find somebody, we have to go out knowing that we may get hurt. If you're looking to reconcile, this is very similar because this is a fear, anxiety about getting your heart broken again. I don't know if I can go through this again. Same, like I keep repeating, that hermit where you're in solitude, you're saying, I don't know, you're meditating, you're looking back with this judgment and going, I just don't know that I can do this again. I love this person a lot and I can't imagine not being with them, but at the same time, I can't imagine being with them again because I can't keep going round and round in circles with them. The next card you have is your immediate future, so throughout the month of September, and you have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is charming, energetic, daring, so very opposite from this. So if you're single, I feel like you're going to get out there a little bit. You're going to meet some people. You're going to feel like charming the socks off of somebody, or they're going to feel like charming you. You're going to feel very courageous, very confident, kind of charging forward. I'm ready. I know what I want. I'll be patient. I'm not going to rush into anything. Maybe you've rushed into things too quickly in the past. This is definitely saying, hey, I'm ready to meet somebody, but I'm nervous about opening up my heart. So I definitely feel like you're going to start dating more and more. You may be coming out of the solitude this month and then retreating when you need to. It feels like some of you dated like consistently and you didn't take a break for yourself and it became more of a job or felt more, of a burden than it was fun. And this month you're going to change up the way you've been dating. You're going to make sure you're enjoying it. And if you're not, then you'll pull back in and stop for a little while. If you're looking to reconcile, this feels like they may be coming in, charming your socks off. I hate to say it, but I feel like they're going to come in. They're going to tell you everything they think that you want to hear. And that's where you're getting nervous here. You're kind of like, I don't know. And you're telling them, you're going to have to be patient with me because it's going to take some time to build up the trust with you. But it's interesting because your confidence is going to build up a little more and a little more and a little more. It's like you've been in a rut. And once you guys finally start communicating, you're going to feel lifted. And that may be something you want to pay attention to, because if the communication makes you feel abundant and happy and satisfied, then maybe the connection is something you guys should continue to build on. But again, patiently make sure that you keep your self-control with this person, because this right here shows like if they come back and they start, oh, I love you, I miss you, you're going to get wrapped up in that. But there's still some things that need to be figured out. There's still some hurts and wounds that need to be, cleared up. The next card you have is anything tangible that's going to come out throughout the month. So a situation that you'll be in, and it could be the beginning, middle, end. It could last for an hour. It could last for a day, etc. What's interesting here is this is the Nine of Cups. This is bliss. This is fulfillment. This is pleasure. So if you're single, I definitely feel like somebody is coming into your life, or you're going to meet somebody pretty significant, and you're going to be like, whoa. I mean, you're going to feel on top of the world with this person. They're going to make you feel amazing. You're going to feel just overall, at some point this month, you're going to have a moment of just overall bliss or peace. Could even be that, you start dating again and you're like, whoa, this is a whole different turnaround than what I had before. There's actually some potential out here. There's some people who I could really, see myself getting to know, talking to, etc. So it may just be a happiness and a whole new experience in dating or finding love. If you're looking to reconcile, again, I think this is a very good card. This is very positive for you, but I want you to be very careful that you don't jump back into like the lust. You don't jump back into they tell you again everything that they want you to hear, because this is saying like you're going to feel on top of the world with them if there's some sort of communication here. But I want to make sure it's organic. Does that make sense? I think that you need to make sure you carry this patience. Because I feel like if you jump tenfold in, you're still going to have these things that you need answers to, or these questions, or this hurt that's going to come up again. Yes, when you reconcile with somebody, it's always amazing. You guys want to, be together 24/7, and you want to gush about how much you love each other, and you want to have lots of physical intimacy and all this stuff. But sometimes we forget that those problems are still going to be there once that honeymoon phase wears off again. The next card you have is anything you're going to feel throughout the month. So again, it could be the beginning, middle, end. And this is something that you'll, internalize. And so you have the Six of Wands here. The Six of Wands is about achievement, success, pride. So if you're single, I feel like you definitely are going to meet somebody that's going to make you feel like your dating is worth it, or that, taking the time off and revamping and coming back in was worth it. Because this is you feeling like you're actually meeting somebody that you like. It could be one person, it could be a few people, but you're definitely going to meet somebody, which I find is interesting because you may really, really end up liking them. And that's where this comes into play, where you're like, oh, I really like this person, but I'm really afraid of getting hurt. If you're looking to reconcile, I feel like either you guys communicate and that's the beginning, that's where the success comes in. Maybe you guys do have a conversation and talk about the nitty gritty and get all of that out and say, okay, if we want to make this work, if we want to, like, this feels like you going, I'm finally getting my point across, or they finally understand what I'm talking about, or they're feeling that way. But I feel like it's mainly you going, okay, they understand now why I was so hurt, or they understand why I needed a break, or they understand, like, they can't treat me this way anymore. So this is some sort of internal victory where you feel like, oh, they act like the light bulb went on in their head and they actually understand what they put me through. The next card you have is your hopes or fears for the outcome of the month, and that's very interesting. You have the Hermit. So you've got Virgo coming up here twice, so you may be dealing with Virgos. But the biggest thing I take from this is that whether you're single or looking to reconcile, your biggest fear is going back into that solitude. Now, you needed it, and I like solitude sometimes, and, you know, I think it's good for people and healthy. But this right here is that you don't want to have to retreat again because you get hurt. And so your fear for this month is your own internal anxiety. This isn't something that they're doing to make you feel fearful. This is you going, I just don't want to get hurt again. Would I be better off not dating? Would I be better off not talking to this person I want to reconcile with again? Or should I get out there? But I think this is saying depend on your spirituality too. Whether you believe in God, whether you believe in the universe, whatever you believe in, there's a higher power at play here because you have the Hermit here, which represents spirituality. So I would watch the signs and I would go with the flow and allow the universe to guide you a little bit more this month. The next card you have is your outcome. And I really like this for you. It's the Queen of Wands. This person is confident, very, has full of ferocity, energy, creative, sensuous, very magnetic. And so by the end of this month, I feel like you're gonna be fitting into your own skin again, if that makes sense, Gemini. You're gonna feel like you're on top of the world. You're gonna be confident. Still a little nervous here for the next month or two. If you're single, it feels like it's gonna be like, oh, this is too good to be true. This person coming in, I don't know. It's like you're waiting for the other shoe to drop, but that's not a good place to be in. You want to get to the place where you can accept the fact that sometimes there's hurt that comes along with love. And if you're single and you really want to find somebody, then you need to be willing to make that sacrifice. If that's, if you go around dating, but you're always worried you're going to get hurt, then you're going to get hurt because you're going to screw it up. Like, we've all done that, right? We've all self-sabotaged. And the Queen is saying, have confidence that you're making the best decision you can. Have confidence in yourself and know that the universe will guide you as much as they can, with the signs of, is this a good fit for me? If you're sick to your stomach and you feel, constantly annoyed with this person, obviously it's not good for you. If you feel enamored and they lift you up and they build you up and you feel a positive energy, then it's a good sign. If you're if you're looking to reconcile, I definitely feel like this is you standing your ground on certain situations that you will not budge on. Like, if there was infidelity, if there was anything like that, this is saying you're going to have to be patient with me because I can't get there with you right this second. But I do care about you. I do love you. I do have a sensuality with you, etc. But, I have to take care of me too. And that's a big thing. Like I said, it's very interesting. Capricorn was all about taking care of themselves as well. And I think that's what you need to do this month, Gemini, is build yourself up, be able to rely on yourself in order to rely back on that person or find somebody amazing. Now, you have the Knight of Wands here twice. So there is going to be some romance, some charming here. If you're single, this person is going to be very interested in you. And I feel like it's very organic. They're being very truthful about it. They do like you a lot. And I think that they'll start to make you feel that over and over and over. You just have a lot of fire energy here. So you may end up meeting a Leo, Sagittarius. Like I said, you have Leo here too. So, I feel like for some of you, it may be fire sign, Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. But you have the Knight showing up twice. So if you're single, definitely somebody's coming in. They are going to be very attentive and make you feel very good. If you're looking to reconcile, I feel like there's a good possibility because I feel like this person is understanding that you just won't back down on how you're going to be treated going forward, etc. So I think you might have to have some hard conversations, but then it may turn into something very very possible for reconciliation. I love your clarifying card here because yes, you're nervous in the distant future about how things are going to go because you don't want to get hurt. But if you're single or looking to reconcile, your clarifying card is the 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups is about peace, it's about joy, it's about family. So if you're single and you are looking for somebody that you want to have kids with, or if you're a single parent and you're looking for that person to kind of complete this stage, I think that you will get it. Yes, they're going to make you very nervous because, again, that too good to be true feeling comes in, but I think you should just embrace it because I think it's going to be great. If you're looking to reconcile, I think you guys can get back on track, and I definitely think if building a family or whatever it was that you guys were moving into that direction, even if it was just committing to be together and not date anybody else and committing to be 100% to each other, whatever it is, you can obtain it. Yes, it's going to be scary, and yes, you may internalize it with anxiety and fear, but in the end, it comes out to, a success. It comes out to a fulfillment and a peace. Even if the peace is just that you guys can get along for, more than a day without fighting, whatever it is for you, there's something definitely worth hanging on to this connection for. All right, Gemini, I hope you have a great month.